I reached into the car to grab the food, and once I grabbed all the food and backed up from the car and looked up, the group of 4 was directly across from me on the other side of my car about 10 feet away. And here is where things took a turn for the worst. The year was 2020 and the location was Sanford, Florida. I had only been a DoorDasher for about 2 weeks and I decided to do my first overnight shift in a brand new city. Everything was going great until this happened. Around 11:30 p.m. I got an order to go to Mickey D's. Once I got it, I hopped in the Lamborghini, drove off, and started heading towards the customer's location. However, as I got closer to the customer's house, there was one major problem. This customer didn't just live in Sanford, Florida. This customer lived in Midway. Midway is a neighborhood located in Sanford, Florida, and in previous years, Midway was known for being a little bit rough around the edges. However, in recent years, this has changed and Midway has become a very comfortable and safe place to live. But this wasn't recent years. Now, once I turned onto Midway Avenue, this is where the situation got really weird. I turn down the street and I see a group of guys, specifically brothers, all hanging out outside of a house that I'm approaching. Now, it's around 12 a.m. in the morning and it's pitch black outside, and this group appears to be indulging in what looks like and smells like the devil's forbidden lettuce. You know, the... As I start driving closer to this group, they start walking closer to my car and staring at me as if I'm literally an alien they've never seen before. Now, them staring at me doesn't really bother me too much because they're obviously trying to figure out why I'm in their neighborhood, but they obviously don't realize that I'm a brother. So to ease the tension, I decided to give them the old brotherly greeting, you know, the nod. So once I'm in eyesight of the group, I give them the nod, and in response, they start scolding me even harder. Anyways, I keep driving down the street and I see this house that is unlike any house I'd ever seen before in my life. This house is completely surrounded by what appears to be chain link fence that is about 10 feet high. This house literally looked like a mini county jail. Sort of like this house, but with an additional 3 to 4 feet of fence in height. Why would a person need a fence this large? And that, like, what kind of animals are they trying to keep out? That's literally what I was thinking. Then it hit me. They aren't trying to keep out animals. They're trying to keep out people. People, man, people. And of course, the map told me that the house I was delivering the McDonald's order to was this county jailhouse, right next to this group of guys. The customer also left a comment in the app that said they wanted me to hand deliver the order to them. And here is where things took a turn for the worst. As soon as I pulled over and turned off my car, a group of the guys started walking towards me. The big group was about 100 feet away from me, but a group of 4 was walking slowly towards my direction. And as they were walking, I could see them whispering stuff to each other. So at this point, I'm freaking out a little bit. I am in unfamiliar territory with unfamiliar people at an unfamiliar house. And to make it all worse, a group of brothers didn't even acknowledge my nod, man. The nod our ancestors have been using for millennia. In that moment, I felt like I had just had my black card ripped from right under my feet, man. I eventually got out of the driver's side and started walking over to the passenger side to start grabbing the food. At this point, I've got my pepper spray in my hand in case any funny business were to go down, because I'm not the one. I'm not the one. By the time I get to the passenger side door, this group is now 50 feet away from me. And I figured if I said what's up as they were passing, they would realize I didn't want any problems. At this very moment, I reached into the car to grab the food. And once I grabbed all the food and backed up from the car and looked up, the group of 4 was directly across from me on the other side of my car about 10 feet away. I looked at them, said what's up. They looked at me, said what's up, and they just kept walking. And now I'm thinking, oh snap, I'm good. Here I was freaking thinking that I was gonna get robbed over some Mickey D's for no reason. And all these guys needed to do was to get a closer look at me just to verify that I was a brother and let me go about my way. Like, duh, that makes perfect sense. That's at least what I thought. As soon as that group walked right past me, I turned and realized that another group was walking behind them. And this group was walking on my side of the street. Why? Why? Now, I don't know if the first group was meant to distract me or something, but I honestly wasn't going to stay to find out. I quickly gathered all my stuff and speed walked over to the customer's gate just to find that the gate was locked. I then started calling the customer and you guessed it, they wouldn't pick up. Mind you, as I'm calling the customer, this larger group is getting closer and closer to me. At this point, I realized it would just be best for me to walk back to my car as fast as possible with the customer's dinner because I was not trying to be someone's dinner, bruh. I'm not about to die over an old McDouble and some stale French fries. And lo and behold, as soon as I turn around to start walking towards my car, this 20-something-year-old dude with a gaming headset and a controller in his hand comes rushing to the gate and says, "Hey, sorry man, sorry, I didn't see your call. I almost got a McAss whooping because you are up at 12 a.m. playing Fortnite with your goons." So I hand the customer his food as quickly as possible, and as soon as I hand the customer his food, the group of guys who were at this point about 10 to 15 feet away from me all turn around and start walking back to the hangout spot where I saw them originally. Now, in hindsight, to be honest with you guys, I don't think this group would have jumped me or robbed me at gunpoint over some McDonald's. Worst case scenario, these guys were stoned, they were hungry, and they would have somehow pressured me to give them over the DoorDash order. But at the time, I was only 20 years old in a neighborhood I had only heard stories about at 12 a.m. in the pitch black darkness, surrounded by a group of brothers that wouldn't accept me as their own, man. So of course, the less probable scenarios are the ones that are running through my mind. Now, as a DoorDash driver, you really don't have situations like this happen often. However, this is just one of several very odd encounters that I've had as a DoorDash driver. In this video right here, I explained the time that a customer tried to lure me into their house. Yes, you heard me right. Literally lure me into their Richie Rich house. I felt like I was in some kind of real life horror movie, or I was getting like pranked or something and Ashton Kutcher was gonna be around the corner and be like, "Hi, I got you," know what I'm saying? That wasn't the case. So if you're interested, make sure you check out that video. It will also be linked in the description as well. Anyways, always remember guys, wisdom is free and knowledge is power. And until next time, take it easy.